Welcome to a short tutorial on summarizing. Through understanding the message, pulling it apart, sifting through the information, filtering out the important things, then explaining what we have experienced to others. So what is summarizing really all about? It is very similar to explaining to your friend about the movie you just saw. You could also say that it is just like the time when you helped out your classmate who was absent during the lecture that today's test was all about. Of course, he wants just the important points that the professor covered. A summary is made up of an all-important first sentence, which is basically a one-sentence summary in itself, and then the other elements. It is important to include the main points of the material. You also need to include the reporting verbs that help the reader to know the manner that the original author meant to give in the information. In the academic world, we need to borrow information. That is the whole point of education. The professors and books have the info, and we need it. However, when we use that information in reporting, we need to give credit where credit is due. It is not from us. Not giving credit is called plagiarism and is basically stealing. So give them credit. By using citations or references in the text to show where the original information comes from. So how is a summary done? As we said, you need to cite the sources or give pointers in your writing to show where it comes from. Say the same thing, but in your own words. This is what we call paraphrasing. Sometimes keeping some key words from the original text helps to convey the same information. And using the same organization of the original also helps. Finally, try to see what the tone or original attitude that the author is using, and use reporting words to describe that as well. When you use the word mentioned, it is a very different tone than when you say that he argued that something was true. In addition, when investigating the author's tone, check to see whether it is a personal experience, or is he explaining some chronological event or timeline? Is he defining something, or describing something? Maybe he or she is trying to be persuasive and is giving their opinion. You will have to decode this attitude and find words that will give the same meaning. Look at the different major sections in the text and simplify them. Your goal is to give a broad picture of what the author is saying. You do not want to just list items. This makes for a boring presentation or read. And think about descriptive words that will help communicate. So let's take a look at the all-important first sentence. It is the one that you will want to work hard at getting right. It is almost like the main course at a wedding banquet. The elements that you will need are as follows. You will need to include the title of the article, as well as the author's full name, which sometimes is not available. So as in this case, we use the next best thing. In addition, you will need to include the year that it was written, and sometimes this is just the year and not the full date. Then think carefully about the main reporting verb, which should be in the present tense, and should be something like describe, explain, examines, etc. You will have to decide how the information was originally given. Finally, you will need to finish it off with the one main idea of the article. After the first sentence, you should include the important information included in this main point. You will have to investigate. When you do the original reading, you should jot down notes as you read. Highlight words and phrases and make notes in the margins on the important points. This will help when it comes time to write the summary. And follow the same organization as in the original. Thanks for watching.